Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you haven't watched my videos previously, then my name is Frankie and welcome to my channel. So today's video, oh, here is 4-month-old Eliza as well. Sound asleep. This is actually quite good filming this because it'll give our subscribers a chance to see how much she's grown in the last I think 3 weeks since you've last seen her. And she really has changed so much. But yeah, today's video is going to be about what our plans are with regards to expanding our family. Am I going to go down the IVF route again? And just a quick chit chat really. I know a few people have reached out and asked the question, will I be doing IVF again? Will we be trying for another baby this year? And also, because I set my goals yesterday and posted that video, I didn't actually let you guys know what our intentions are as to family plans. So, and ultimately that was my goal in 2018, was to be a family. So King's College Hospital is where our embryos are stored. We do have 6 frozen embryos in storage still. We did get 8 from my fresh cycle that were freeze all when I had my fresh cycle. So that cycle was cancelled. My first pregnancy sadly ended in miscarriage, and my second pregnancy was very fortunate to bring our beautiful little lady into our life. So the 6 we have got, we do have a 5AB. I do think the rest are 5BBs. We may have one more 5AA, but I'm not so sure. I can't quite recall. But we've definitely got one AB and the rest are BBs. So they're all really good quality embryos. When they initially did our fresh cycle and then got to day 5, they did advise that there was definitely they felt at least 3 viable pregnancies out of our batch of embryos. And obviously we've had pregnancy number 1, and I was technically pregnant in the first pregnancy too. But yeah, if you haven't watched my channel previously, then I did have a bit of a troubled pregnancy. At 22 weeks, I found out that I was potentially about to give birth to Eliza, and was advised to go on a high dose of progesterone for a week. And I was called back in for another scan, and they advised me that actually things weren't looking good at all, and I needed to go in for a cervical stitch. The cervical stitch and pelvic rest, strict pelvic rest, so I wasn't allowed to stand up, wasn't allowed to shower for long, wasn't allowed to go to work. I was in 12 weeks of working at home with the laptop on my lap in bed. And I gave birth to Eliza at 34 weeks pregnant. So the best outcome happened really. She was 6 weeks premature. She did have a very good weight though. She was 5 pound 8. And she was only in special care for a few days. So our outcome was very fortunate for us. Now, what we do going forward, we just don't know at the moment, to be honest. We have sort of changed our minds so many times. When I first had Eliza, I was very much of the opinion I was done. I've got my family and we're all good now. Probably because my recovery was really bad on the cesarean. And Jake was very much straight after labour, was like, we're not doing that again. And I have had times where I've really spoke to Jake and said, look, I really do want to try for one more. And he's very much always puts things all out on the table, like these are all our options. And he did say that obviously we have the chance of having a high risk pregnancy again. It's not guaranteed that things are going to end up as a happy ending, like we've been fortunate enough with Eliza. And he does remind me, you know, things were a really hard struggle for me, physically and emotionally. And he, you know, that is very easy to forget when you've got a bouncing, happily beautiful little girl playing with you every day. to forget all actually what you went through. And also Jake's all sort of explained that financially, you know, that we could provide as much as we possibly can, and we could go without things for Eliza, but if we do have a second, that is going to change our financial dynamics massively. So yeah, there's a lot to think about. And there are times where I sort of sit there and say, do you know what, the financial thing does not bother me, and it really doesn't, because I'm from a family of 3 children, so there was 5 of us in the family, and my parents separated a few years ago, but the one thing they definitely mutually agree on still is that the years when we were probably at our poorest, when we were young children, were the happiest years we were as a family. And we did some really basic things, and they were the special things that we still talk about 20 odd years later. And my dad used to take us camping, and, you know, if we did go on a posh holiday, that was a caravan holiday and stuff like that. And but we always lived in a good area. My mum and dad always made sure we had we didn't have a particularly massive house, but we had a family home in a nice area, and we were always had clean clothes, and, you know, we didn't go without. I'm not saying we were poor, but it was definitely a struggle for my parents. But for me, that doesn't bother me, you know, to not be able to spoil Eliza, because I think if we gave her a brother or sister, that to me is worth so much more. So but I see Jake's where he's coming from with that. He did speak to me at New Year, Jake, and he did say, I think the best decision is that we actually continue to freeze the embryos for 1 more year, which is a massive statement for Jake. I wasn't expecting him to say that. I was expecting him to say we need to make a decision. But he said that, you know, perhaps we review it at the end of next year, as in this year, sorry, the end of 2019, and decide, will I go again? And if that answer is no, then we know we need to make a decision to go down one route or another, because I don't want a huge gap with Eliza. But saying that also, I haven't gone on to contraception. I did have a meeting with the GP when Eliza was about 6 weeks old, and I did explain to the GP that Jake and I are of the opinion, if I ever was to fall pregnant naturally, which is very, very slim, the chances, we would definitely roll with that. And we've both agreed on that. Jake agreed on that as well, that if that happened, yeah, then that was meant to be, in our opinion. So if it was to happen naturally tomorrow, we would go with the flow. So but yeah, what I would probably say with regards to our embryos though, if we do go down the road of deciding I don't go through IVF again, then I might look into donating the embryos. The thought of letting them perish is just a horrible thought. And I know that throughout our IVF journey, if somebody could have helped us, if we couldn't have got such strong embryos, I definitely would have been seeking for that help. So if I can give that to one more family, or there could be a single mum out there who's been desperate to be a mum all her life and she doesn't have a partner, then those embryos are sitting there to help somebody. And I would much rather that than just let them go to waste. I know the hospital have offered me to donate them before to medical research, which I'm not opposed to, but I would rather them go to a couple that needs the help. So that will be something I will discuss at a later date, no doubt, because if I was fortunate enough to go through the IVF and fall pregnant, then whatever embryos I have left, I would definitely look to donate those. And the same goes if I fell pregnant naturally, then the 6 embryos would then be donated, because Jake and I have definitely decided the maximum children we would have would be 2. Obviously, if we had twins and made it 3, you know, you get dealt your cards in life, don't you? But we wouldn't go out to have 3 separate pregnancies. So, but yeah, that's probably where we're at. So no immediate plans to start for a 4th person to our family. We're just going to enjoy the year with Eliza, and I'm really happy with that decision. Jake's really happy with that decision, and yeah, we'll just see where the year goes. Who knows, we might have some positive news at the end of the year, might fall pregnant throughout the year naturally. We just don't know. But what we do know is I probably will give myself at least a year's break off the IVF, let my hormones go back to a level where I feel much more like myself again, and just, yeah, enjoy the time with Eliza and watch her grow. And you know, we've worked so hard to get to this position with her. It would just seem crazy for us to rush into having another one straight away. So that's where we're at, guys, with the family plans. But listen, this has been a great time chatting with you guys. I'm going to let you all get on with your day, and this little one is probably going to have to wake up soon because we are going to pop out to the shops today. So yeah, I'm going to get her feed and her nappy sorted, off out, and yeah, just have a bit of fun time, bit of fresh air as well. Fresh air really does her good. So, but anyway, speak to you later, guys, and thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.